Hey guys, in this video I'm going to walk you through how to edit your own sermon slides in Canva. So go to canva.com if you have a login for your church. That's going to be the best option because some features are paid for features and some features are free. And so you'll figure that out as you go. But let's just kind of walk through some of these basic slides. You notice in this particular case, we've got a title slide. There's nothing to do with that. You don't have anything to change there. The next page or the next slide is the title slide for the sermon. So that first one's a series title slide. The second one is the sermon title slide. And then we've got a talking point slide. We've got a scripture slide and another talking point slide. So I'll walk you through how to edit some of these. The point for this tutorial is just to show you some of the best practices and then show you how to download this so that you can import it or send it to your media person. So first of all, one of the rules of thumb is you notice if you grab from this white on the side, you can make the box smaller or larger. The only reason really to do that is to make sure that if you bring it over as close as you can, let's say that this is how we want it to look. So I'm going to bring this to here, and then I'm going to grab all of this. You notice how I grabbed the top and the bottom. I've got two text boxes, one for the title of the sermon and one for the web address. So if I grab both of those, now I can move it around until it centers. You see how the pink lines are now centered. So that's generally the best, sort of the first best practice is once you get your text the way you want it to be, bring that box about as close as you can, and then center it all so that it looks centered on the slide. Let me show you how to do that with a talking point. So here's your talking point. You notice what I like to do is I like to bring it over to about where I think it looks good. I don't like it like this. You see how Psalms is now is down there by itself on that third line. I think it looks more pleasing to the eye to go like that or like that. Either one of those is fine. So let's say that I'm going to keep it like that. So then I bring this as close to that as I can. I let it go. And now I want to center this box just like that. See, if I go up here, it's not centered. It's centered horizontally, but it's not centered vertically. Now this one is centered vertically and horizontally. Okay, let's look at that with scripture. So again, we can paste in scripture. You can open up your notes and paste in your scripture from your notes. So let's say we do that with this. You notice the Bible address is up here in bold, and everything else is down here just in regular. We're using, if you want to see what text font we're using Railway. This is actually regular Railway, even though it says Railway Heavy. It's actually Railway and Railway Heavy. So heavy is this, and regular Railway is what we're using down here. So again, if I expand this, see this I don't like. Again, I think this doesn't look as pleasing to the eye to have the word word off here by itself on the second line. So again, instead, I'm going to grab this. I'm going to go like, I like this right here. That looks pretty good right there. So I leave it at that, and then I center that text box. Let me just show you one more thing. If you're gonna do a bulleted list, okay, so let's say that this is the let's make a list. So what you can do right here is you can create a list, and you notice it'll indent it. This is the first point. This is the second point. And then let's say this is the third point. So what I would do if I'm going to make a list is I would go ahead and build the list right off the bat on one slide and get it to about where it's pleasing. So then I'm going to center it. So now here's our list. So what I want to do here now, and maybe by the way, let's see if this works. We change this to Railway. Yeah, this is nice. So we keep it bolded. The title of the list we keep bolded, and everything else. The title of the list is railway heavy, and everything else is railway thin, regular railway, which is nice. So now I'm going to center that, and that's centered. That looks pretty good. So what you can do now is you're going to duplicate. You're going to make the full list. You're going to duplicate it 1, 2, 3 times. And then we're going to go like that. We're going to go to the next one. And this is the next one. We're going to go to this one. And then the last one's ready to go. So you see what I did there is I made a list. Let's make a list. So here we go. First point, second point, third point. And then each one of those will appear as a separate slide as you're preaching that and building the list. So that's kind of a nice way to, if you're going to add a list in your sermon slides, that's a nice way to do it. And it will just build that list with each new slide. Last thing I want to show you then is, so once you get all of your slides created, now let's talk about how to download this. What you're going to want to do is come up here to the download button. You're going to change the file type to JPEG. And you notice it's going to let you download all 10 pages in JPEG. I like to keep the size 1x and the quality 80%. And then you click on download. And what it will do is it will download that as a zipped folder, a zipped file folder, and then you can share that file folder with your media team or whoever needs. So notice it's a zipped folder. And if I open up that zipped folder, let's go ahead and do that real quick. There's all 10 in order. There's all 10 of my slides in order. So I hope that tutorial was helpful for you. Again, canva.com, C-A-N-V-A, and it's a real simple way to create slides and make them look as professional as possible, as long as you start with the template that we will share with you.